Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be with you all. I want to talk about the fallout that is still continuing after, I guess, 4 days now? 3 days after that famous slap. Will Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock. We all know what happened. I'm not going to go back and retell what happened because it is the most famous incident, I think, in the history of humankind, or in the history of television. We know that, so I'm not gonna go back to that. But what I want to talk about is what happened afterwards. Obviously, we're hearing all the stories of what happened in backstage and how, and even right after it happened, how people just come to Will Smith's side. Now we're hearing the Academy wanted to take him out of the theater, but he refused. How could anybody refuse something like that? They do have security, don't they? I mean, really? What is wrong with Hollywood? A man who just slapped another man and humiliated another human being on stage, who clearly set a bad precedent. Yet they give him a standing ovation. What is wrong with these people? I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone. It is so sickening. Jim Carrey is right. It was sickening. It was sickening. Yet, I've seen several sisters, well-known sisters, including Gayle King, who, when she didn't hear what she wanted to hear from Jim Carrey, because he came out strong, she said, well, nobody is okay with that. Yeah, let's move on from that. No, this is not something to move on from. This was a terrible thing that he did. That night he didn't apologize. The next day he writes this. We all know the apology. I'm not gonna read it. But of course, after consulting his attorneys and publicists and this and that and the other, and knowing the fallout, because the vast majority of ordinary folks and people are with Chris Rock. He came out the hero, keeping his hands down, not fighting back. It could have been so much worse. He was the hero that night. Because a man's true measure is refraining from fights, especially when you have to defend yourself and you stand back, stand down. That is a true courage. That is heroic. So to go back to how several sisters tweeting that thank you for defending your wife or whatever. It's good that he defended his black wife. What does color has to do with anything? Every man, clearly, every husband or whoever should defend their wife, sister, mother, or anyone who needs defending in that matter. She was not in physical danger. To me, it was very clear what Chris Rock was talking about, and he was not talking about her condition. She looked exactly like that character from G.I. Jane. That beautiful character Demi Moore played, a heroine, and shave her head and put her ego aside. There aren't a lot of women who can shave their hair off and still look stunning, like Demi Moore and Jada Pinkett. It seemed like he was cheering her on, telling her how beautiful and regal she looked. So I think the fight starts now. I was so proud of Jim Carrey because he was the first person to come out so strongly and just stated the fact when everyone else was trying to walk in the middle, not trying to offend the bigger star and this power couple. Especially a lot of black women were trying to walk in the middle and trying to not say very much, or they both had, nobody had, I hate this false equivalency of, well, Chris said this, he shouldn't have said that, and that could have been hurtful, and I can understand where, including Whoopi Goldberg, I can understand where he was coming from, but at the same time, Will Smith had no right to do that. No one should be, no, this is not a thing to, this is not when we try to stay neutral. We would not have said the same thing if it was our child that attacked someone, not even on a stage, but anywhere in the playground. Forget about this stage. This is ridiculous. There should be a clear, simple condemnation. I feel like the Hollywood folks and the left in general kind of cherry pick their outrage. Wrong is wrong. There's no buts or ifs or in between. There's no walking in the middle when it comes to what Will Smith did. He was wrong. He should have been removed. He should have been condemned across the board. Incredible Jim Carrey. I'm so proud of him. This man is something to admire. He's just, I feel like he's in search of something. He's so composed and decent and courageous and brilliant, obviously. I love how he spoke about this. He was the first person to really say it as it should have been said from the beginning. Jim Carrey said, I was sickened that Will Smith got this standing ovation after assaulting someone on stage. And then he go on to say, I had announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because this video would be around forever. It's going to be everywhere, Carrey told Gayle King. This insult is going to go on for a very long time. And he continued, Hollywood is collectively weak. And I really felt that was a clear indication that we are not the great club anymore. And he today he also added that I'm not mad at Will Smith. Maybe he has many things going on. I'm paraphrasing it obviously, but he talked about how it's this business that makes people feel like that they have to be everything, and that people feel like they have to be so much and they have to do so much and nothing is ever enough. And Jim Carrey talked about how it's important to feel like I've done a lot. I'm enough. I don't have to, he said, be an actor and own a record company and, be a singer and be everything, and it's true. I feel like that is what happens in this country, that it's not only in this country anymore, it's everywhere in the world, because today we are a global village and, we are living in a borderless world because of technology. And everyone feels like I have to be like everyone else. I have to be the biggest star. I have to have, the most following. I have to, be a triple threat. I got to be able to do everything. I have to be everywhere, and I have to be constantly talked about, and I have to, and there's only so much we can do as human beings. We're only here on this earth a very short period of time, and something's got to give. We can't be everything to all things. And Jim Carrey is so right, and he feels like he said, regardless, no matter how he feels, although Will Smith has done so many great things in his life, this is what he's going to be remembered for. He still, no matter what he's going through, had no right to do what he did. On top of that, he took attention away from all the people that want so much, and no one's talking about it. The only thing we're all talking about is what happened, that terrible, terrible incident. And yes, he should pay a price. Comedian George Wallace, the great George Wallace, also thinks that he should sue. He said, I love Will Smith, but he had no right to do what he did. And Chris Rock should not only sue him, but should also, press charges against him and visit him in jail. Those were his words. Other comedians, comedian Wanda Sykes also talked about the fact that she was sickened by what happened. This whole thing just spoiled everything for everybody, and he still, And they're trying to tell us now, oh yeah, we try to take him out, but he said no. Who is he to say no? Would anyone else say no? I mean, it's so ridiculous. Comedian and actor Dana Carvey also said, I was triggered because everyone talks about triggers. When I saw a very large person go full as house, physical, on a person who's not small, but much smaller, Carvey said. And that just viscerally hit me. So I was a bully. I guess he did that, you know, he bullied people when he was younger. I was just taken aback to my childhood. Where was security? Could anyone else have gotten away with that? He added. He's right. He's right. Actually more disappointed with a lot of famous African Americans who are trying to walk in the middle, knowing that a lot of young African Americans, and us, even myself as you know, someone from Africa, and also, you know, I am African American in this country, obviously. We have a lot of young people that are killing each other for the silliest things. You looked at my girl, you looked at me, you gave me this look, you didn't give me my due respect. Our young people are killing each other for silly stuff like that. And so we have to be careful. We have to be very, very careful. And we have to condemn when someone like Will Smith or anyone, you know, famous person who clearly has a lot of young people looking up to them, when they do something like that, we cannot be tribal. Yeah, obviously, I mean, they're from the same tribe anyway. I wonder, how does that make Chris Rock feel? Makes him feel sad that a lot of our African American community is not condemning Will Smith for his actions. And some are clearly even taking his side. He had the right to defend his wife. That was terrible. It was really ugly, very, very ugly. And I think Chris Rock is going to sue. And I think there's so much more to come. So much more to come. With great power comes with a greater responsibility. We can't let people get away with something like this. We cannot let Will get away with something like this. It's not cool. It's not good. Our condemnation cannot be just reserved for certain groups or certain people. It has to be across the board. Thank you so much. What do you think? Leave a comment, and thank you so much for watching.